All right, so my nephew, two things. He's got this crew that my oldest son is involved with. There's like 5 of them. I think there's 5 of them. And they text about sports all the time. And they do like every guy does. The guys just give each other hell constantly, ripping on each other, including the one major league pitcher in the group, right? And my nephew for Christmas brought back game-worn jerseys and signed them and made a little note to each of his friends. But it was like, okay, this is the jersey, my jersey I wore at Yankee Stadium. Here's my first win. His debut jersey he kept.
But his first win he gave away?
I think he gave away his first win. They were all jerseys that had some significance. And he kept the jerseys. Then they held a draft. They each drew a number. And the boys got to pick which jersey. And then he made a personalized message to him, which was just an awesome idea.
Was the message written on the jersey or was the message written on a note?
It was written on the number.
So actually, that's really cool.
Yep. And I thought that's creative and awesome. And for his close-knit group of friends.
Yeah, because that's cool on a bunch of fronts. And to me, what's cool about that, and Kang's probably going to disagree with this because of the collectability of it, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not looking to sell, right? Yep. So if I get something that's personalized to me, somebody says, to Gator blank or whatever, I think it's awesome. Or to Scott, best wishes, whatever. I always appreciated that as opposed to just buying something for the collectability of it. Now, it's not to say I haven't done that. I've done that with a couple of things too, but there are things that I kind of cherish because they were personalized. Like Kirk Gibson signed something to me years ago. It was great, and I cherish that. So I think it's really cool because these are his friends.
Yep,
and guys he knows, guys he grew up with, and that'd be really cool.
So it was a Road Mariners jersey, and in the number, he signed it and wrote a special message, which I just thought was really, really cool.
That is cool,
and a cool gift. The other thing though is guys being guys. Did you happen to watch the Manning cast the other night?
I don't think I did. No.
Okay, so Eli said, I got you a gift, Peyton. And there was this big...
They cracked me up.
They are funny. It was like this big, wrapped, tall package that he started to open up, and you could tell it was framed. And in the middle, there were a bunch you couldn't really see it at first, but they looked like a bunch of little squares in the frame. In the middle, there was a plaque, and the plaque said, NFL record. 28 interceptions, Peyton Manning rookie season.
Yep.
And it was the football card from that year of every player that picked him off. So he got him a framed poster of every player that picked him off, which reminded me that Logan's crew, my son and his friends, when he came home for Christmas, they were all going to go get jerseys
of the players
of every player that hit a bomb off.
Sure.
So there would have been 2 Jazz Chisholms. There would have been so we should do that for Christmas. That's just what guys do to each other. Is even though one of them is a successful major league pitcher and he's awesome, and I'm fired up for him, super proud of him. But his friends, what do? They still do what guys do to their friends. They give them a hard time.
That's cool.
Even though they're all just completely. I
love what Eli did to Peyton. That's
that's
savage. It's great.
It is savage, and Peyton was dying laughing.
The things they do on that show, the Manning cast, I think it can be a hard watch sometimes. There's a lot of them talking over each other and talking over a guest because there's a delay. But there's also a lot of stuff like football stuff that's interesting. But when they're joking on each other, it is funny. It is really when Eli's making fun of Peyton's forehead, and they've got that picture, the caricature they drew, and it's just his giant forehead, and they have it framed in the background of it. It's hysterical.
Okay, yesterday Sheila Ford Hamp sent out a letter to Detroit Lions season ticket holders, and I thought these types of things aren't unique, and it's not particularly long, so I'll read it. But what she said it sparked a conversation here at the station, but here's what she wrote. I want to start by thanking you for your commitment to our team and support you show throughout the season. I'm always blown away by the energy you create inside Ford Field and the advantage you give our team every time we run out of the tunnel. I also want to acknowledge that our results on the field this season were not what any of us envisioned, and frankly, we're not good enough. While we do not believe it's time for drastic change, this is an opportunity for us to refocus, evolve, and move forward. I'm proud of the roster we built and the 36 wins we've accumulated over the last 3 seasons. That success doesn't happen by accident, but it also does not guarantee future success. It is incumbent upon us to continue growing towards our ultimate goal of bringing a championship to all of you in the city of Detroit. I can assure you we are committed to looking at everything we do to ensure we're performing at the highest level. Through conversations with Rod, Brad, and Dan, we are aligned with this thinking and have already started meetings to address how to move forward. We're excited for what 2026 will bring and some of the new elements we will introduce for all of you, our most loyal fans. Thank you again for your commitment. Go Lions, Sheila Hamp. Good.
That's pretty well written.
Good.
Pretty well stated.
Yep. So,
fans would like to see the not good enough, not up to their standard, what they wanted, but also keeping people in check. And it doesn't mean we're rebuilding. We're
not satisfied, and we're not going to pretend like we're satisfied, and we're going to.
Doesn't guarantee future success.
While we do not believe in it, it's time for a drastic change. It's an opportunity for us to refocus, evolve, and move forward. Do you think anybody will have an issue with? We do not believe it's time for a drastic change. I mean, I know I don't. I don't
think it's time for a drastic change. I think it's time for some changes, and there are going to be changes. Obviously, they're changing the offensive coordinator. That's a change. They may or may not change a defensive coordinator. Those would be big changes. Not drastic, but big changes. You're never going to make everybody happy, right? I mean, we've taken the calls. There are some people that don't want Brad Holmes to continue to, be the general manager of this team. There are some people that have said they don't like Dan Campbell as head coach of this team.
If we get a particularly hostile caller regarding Campbell or Holmes, we always ask, well, would you fire him? And some people say no. And that's, I think it's an important line of delineation. Yes. Others say yes.
But I think it's a very small, very, very, very small percentage on both of those people.
I agree.
So I think this is a well-crafted statement, well-crafted letter, and I agree with everything she said in it.
Yeah. With that said, this sentence, it is incumbent upon us to continue growing towards our ultimate goal of bringing a championship to all of you in the city of Detroit. I want to focus on that. What is that continue to grow move that is possible that would be the biggest leap forward towards bringing that ultimate goal? Okay, so what is it that if they do it this offseason, you think, yep, that's it. That's the continue to grow move that I needed to see that leads me to believe they're going to bring a championship to Detroit. 248-539-9797.
I mean, to me, it's a statement rather than the one move, but it would be more than one move. But it's a statement. That is, you have to improve the offensive line. And I think there was an admission last week from Brad Holmes about that, and taking a serious look at the guys they have in house, and even he admitted there was an article today in the Free Press about it where he had said last week that they're not under any illusions thinking that someone like Giovanni Manu or Corby Soerstall, they can step right in and do the job. That they think that's not realistic based on where they're at right now. So good. That means because he basically said until they see what's going on in OTAs or mini camps, but that's going to happen after the draft. So until then, you've got free agency in the draft to assess that and address that. And I think they will with center and tackle specifically. They have to address both of those positions.
Something I didn't expect here. I looked down at Twitch and Depth313 says, I disagree, Doug. She should have outlined the whole offseason plan in this letter. Is that sarcasm, or do you think that's probably sarcasm?
That might be sarcasm.
Coyboy1 says, yada, yada, yada. Thug Aim says, her letter should have just said, we're good. I'm going to expect hostility towards the letter. Yeah, some snark coming about the letter. I think it's getting Tyler Linderbaum, and I don't know how ridiculous that is, but if they get him, that'll come at a significant cost.
Well, if I'm going to be the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, my first move is to secure Tyler Linderbaum.
Yep.
But that's one of the moves that you have to look at. If it's out there, find a way to get him. But they have to find a way to get a center and find a way to get a tackle. Even if Taylor Decker comes back, I think you have to look at that position and say, we need to find somebody. Because you're losing Dan Skipper too. And if you're already reticent that Giovanni Manu or Corey Sorsdahl are not answers for starting positions for this team, then okay, find somebody else that's going to be a better backup that does have the ability to start.
248-539-9797. We just read the letter that Sheila Hamp wrote to season ticket holders. One, if you got one, what's your reaction to it? What did you think? The other one is the line, it's incumbent upon us to continue growing towards our ultimate goal of bringing a championship to all of you in the city of Detroit. I mean, this is fancy words for we're going to make a move. We're going to make some moves. What is that continue to grow move that is possible that would signify to you that's the biggest leap you can make in an offseason to ultimately, indeed, bringing that championship to Detroit? Let's go to Paul in Clinton Township here on 97.1. Hi, Paul.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
Sure.
Now, as I told, the call screener, allow me to, read into something here, okay? To me, a drastic change, which she said they're not going to make, is the GM or the coach. I mean, what else could it be other than the quarterback? And, I mean, they're kind of locked into him. But to me, she said we're not willing to make a drastic change, meaning replace the GM or the coach. She said it in a manner where I think it is a very subtle shot across both of their bows, or maybe one of them, and they may know who it is, but a shot across the bow to say, hey, we're good with, but this can't happen again. I mean, that's how I kind of read the comment a little bit. She said, we're disappointed, but we're not going to make a drastic change now. I mean, now I'm kind of paraphrasing the words. I don't know.
It's okay.
I see where you're at. I mean, because it's like, okay, one time we can let slip one season. We can't let this be the norm. We're building this to build it to the championship, and if you're not in the playoffs, then you're not building towards a championship.
Yeah, I personally think this season, for Brad Holmes in particular, who I'm a huge fan of.
Real quick here, Paul. We're up against it real quick.
I think he cut 1 year off his hot seat window. He went from a hot seat next year to next year is it. I mean, in terms of you have to fix the team, make the playoffs.
248-539-9797, open lines. How did you interpret that letter? And what do you think that all-in one move is? 97.1.